Welcome. Hey, y'all. Gonna do a quick experiment in fast production. I had a phone conversation with a great rebel the other day, and I'm just gonna put it out there and see what you guys think. Take care.
Mr. Greg.
Hey Andy, how you doing?
Good, man.
Thanks for taking my call.
Life gets busy.
Yeah.
All right, so you got a pricing question? What do you got?
I have a few questions. How do I put it? I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. I'm not sure how many people in my area or where my price list is at is actually using their own price list. So I see value in you coming and doing a class in our area.
Okay, how does that put you at a disadvantage? Meaning you're not going to be able to have as much of an impact on the regional price list?
That's what I believe.
Yeah, okay.
That, and we get a lot of work from a few different adjusters, and
Okay.
And we have great relationships with them, but they still give us pushback on our own pricing. So I think.
Well, they're not going to push back forever.
Okay.
When they're not, all you have to do is have that conversation firmly once and say, hey, are you actively colluding with the rest of my competitors in this market to fix a price? And if so, just tell me this is the price that your company requires us to use, and put it in writing, and we'll do that. Otherwise, I'm going to run my business, and you're going to be an adjuster, and we can still get along. We're just not going to have this conversation again. I mean, it's not an easy conversation to have, but you only have to have it once. And if you truly do have a good relationship with these folks, you're going to be able to have that conversation. And it's going to put you in the advantage because you're going to be the most profitable restoration company in town. That puts you at a distinct advantage. You're going to be able to do things that your competitors in your market can't because you're going to be making more money. But there's a fear. I'm not discounting the fear that you're going to have adjusters say, well, I can't use you anymore.
Right.
But Idaho, I'm assuming, is not a big market.
No, it's not worth its weight in gold there.
Well, that's the conversation every single one of us needs to have with every single adjuster when they say, well, you charge more. And you say, hey, are you encouraging me to collude on price with my competitors? And if so, just tell me what price list you are requiring me to use, and I want you to put it in writing.
Okay. Well, that kind of answers, I don't need to tell you about the specifics.
No, you really don't. I've heard it all. I mean, there's always a smoke screen. There's always they always come up with something, but it all comes down to, are you telling me what I can and cannot charge?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I really don't know how Xactimate has avoided all these years. But they've done it.
Oh, it's mind-boggling. And it's, the other day I did a little bit of research because we're a resort community, so I was trying to compare something to a different adjuster. Our price list is based out of a town that's 50 miles away.
But don't even go there, because the minute you try to come up with reasoning, you're taking on their argument and you give credence to it. It's not about the area. It's about your business. You have specific profit and overhead considerations for your specific business. And those are the things you're building into your price list.
Right.
And it's not their price list. And that's dangerous. What they don't realize, and none of them realize it, these adjusters don't realize that's a very dangerous stance for them to take when they say our price list or the price list. The price list is collusion. It's price fixing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess I've got to make a phone call.
Yeah, and say, and I would do two things. I'd make the phone call and explain your position, and you don't have to justify your position. You just have to explain it, and then follow it up with an email. Say, hey, as per our phone conversation, I use pricing designed for my business. If you have a fixed price schedule that you are demanding your insureds use and your contractors use, I need to know what that price schedule is.
Okay.
And hopefully he's smart enough not to say anything. Because there's very little good things he can say in writing. My guess is he's going to say, never mind. Because that's, if I was his boss, or the VP of that region, that's exactly what I would say. We do not dictate price. We cannot dictate price.
Okay. May I run a few other things by you?
Sure.
So one of the huge issues we have is our retail labor rate on WaterTech is double Xactimate standard.
Okay.
And that's due to the specifics of our company.
Sure.
So that's what I've submitted to this gentleman. I can make on this particular job, I can adjust it and I can resubmit at a different retail price list or labor rate and come down off of where I was at.
Why would you? What good reason do you have?
I don't know if it's good or not, but to show good faith and flexibility.
What part of that is good faith? I understand the flexibility, but what makes that good faith? Good faith is standing to your word and respecting the integrity of the process and the integrity of the system in which you work and respecting the people that you're dealing with. Reducing your price and giving a discount is not respectful, in my opinion. It's cheapening. It's cheapening your value in the open market. Because what is he giving up? Every negotiation has two parties, right? Mm-hmm. And if you want to negotiate in good faith, you both have to move off of something. What's he going to move off of?
He would move off of his price list where he wants it.
So you're going to agree to meet in the middle somewhere?
Essentially.
So at what point do you cross the line from talking about scope and arriving at a good, clean scope and actually adjusting the claim and acting as an adjuster?
Huh. Ever since I took your class, that's been. I'm
glad. That's good.
And that I don't know how to not be in that position. Every adjuster I talk to puts me in that position.
Well, don't let them. Don't follow them down the path. Draw the line where you have to stop talking. You say, I can talk to you about appropriate scope. I can talk to you about industry standard of repairs and mitigation. I cannot talk to you about price. I can't talk to you about coverage. And if that means our conversation is over, I mean, I'm playing a little role playing with you. You say, hey, I can talk to you about the scope. Whether or not my scope of work is appropriate for this loss. I can talk to you about industry standard of care for this type of loss. I can't talk to you about what I'm going to charge for this and I can't talk to you about what your policy covers because that would make me an adjuster. Do we have anything else to talk about? And then you just stop talking and see what they say. These guys, what you're going to realize, Greg, is that these guys come and go. And the guys that are giving you this much heartache are small players. You don't have these conversations at a $200,000 loss. You just don't. You have these conversations on a $3,000 mitigation because the adjuster you're dealing with has less than zero experience, but all the perceived authority. And they're beat up just as bad as they beat us up. So we just got to stop having those conversations. It's not a relevant conversation. Now, if he says, "Hey, you didn't have 50 air movers in that house," or even if he says, "Hey, my calculations say that you only needed this type of dehumidifier," you can start to argue that. You can say, "Well, I did or I didn't, and here's my calculations, and well, here's my documentation. You can have that conversation, but you can't have a conversation about, well, I have chosen to charge my air movers out at $35 a day. You can't have the conversation. It's a slippery slope because you never win, and they never lose. So back to the original question, what is he willing to give up? And in coming up on price, paying more than he wants to on a claim is not giving up anything because it's not his money. So he's really, it's a win for him. He doesn't have to give up anything. And you come off your number and you lose money. You lose money. He doesn't lose anything.
Okay.
It's hard because it feels uncomfortable, but you're going to have this conversation with two different adjusters, and the third one is going to be easy. It's going to be real easy because it's not emotional. It just is what it is. In your market, you're not dependent on them for your work, and you really shouldn't be dependent on them to pay your bills. And that's really what I'm getting at. What I've been trying to teach people is we do these things and we negotiate in bad faith, in my opinion. We negotiate off of our numbers, thinking that it's going to do us good in the future, but there's no win there. There's no goodwill to be had there because that's not where you get your business, unless it is. I mean, how much work did this guy hand you on a silver platter this last year?
Well, we got a really nice fire loss from him, so $500,000.
From him, directly from him.
Yeah.
It wasn't a loss that you had through your own marketing. It came directly from him. He walked you in.
He walked us in, and the contractor, the emergency services contractor off.
Ooh. Were they fucking it up?
No, not necessarily, but he likes us. He likes the quality of work that we do.
Then keep the conversation about that. Say, hey, you like the quality of work I do. It shows because you recommend this on work, and I appreciate that. In order for me to maintain that quality of work, I charge what I need to charge, and that means I can't come down off my number if I want to keep the quality of work where you expect it to be. That's an easier conversation. That's actually easier to be had because then it's about you and your position. It's not attacking him and his position. You state, great book I just read, The Power of a Positive No. And you frame a no with two yeses. And what you're saying yes to is your belief, your stance, and your goals. So your belief, your stance is I do high quality work. It's evident that I do high quality work because you recommend me for that work. I want to provide at the tail end, I want to provide really well for my clients and my employees and this community. So you're saying yes to quality, you're saying yes to community, and in between you say, this is why I can't back off of my prices. This is why I can't change my prices on this particular project or any project because they're where they need to be.
Geez, Andy, thank you very much.
Yeah, man. I should start recording these phone calls, like recording myself, because I'm like, oh, that was really good. I should have written that down. But it's the truth.
I hope I don't offend you. It's automatic on every phone call, but I can email it to you.
Do it. Send me the transcript. I don't care. That's going to offend me.
I don't know.
I'm glad you do that because it's going to save your ass one day.
Yeah, and it's free. It's ACR.
No shit. So through the cell provider or a third party?
It's an app. It's ACR.
No kidding. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Send it to me. I'd love to hear myself opine on this situation because I think I dropped some good nuggets there.
Hey, how are these restoration roundtables going? I haven't had a chance to listen in.
When they happen, they go real well. I just got busy, just super busy, and then I took a job so that's kept me flying. I've been on more airplanes this last 2 months than I have in the last 4 years. So just been really busy. I'm looking forward to getting back in the rhythm with them again, but it's probably not going to happen until after the holidays. And oh shit, today's Tuesday, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have it tonight. Oh, we're going to do it, but damn, it's been a real time suck, frankly, for no revenue for me. I mean, it's a free service for a free Facebook group So that's been a drag. It's been 2 years of putting a lot of stuff out there for no good return.
I noticed you joined Xactimate Ninjas.
I did. I have to be real quiet there because I've been asked to be real quiet. But
It's very interesting if you read the comments and some of the discussion. Some of them are minor, but sometimes you get into it and the conversation goes really well, or really not well, in my opinion.
yeah.
I've taken up enough of your time. I am happy to pay you if you want to send me an invoice.
Oh no, that's no worry. We're under a half hour, and if you picked up the phone and called me again, I would probably say let's hop onto my Clarity line and make it free. I've got a Clarity.fm phone line that I use for that type of consulting. So yeah, if going forward you want to sit down and go deep again, yeah, I'll just send you a link and we'll schedule a time.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm only an hour from Canada.
Oh, so you're out by Coeur d'Alene, or
Yes,
north of Coeur d'Alene?
I'm north of Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene is my price list. Well, not my price list.
Was your price list. Now you're going to make your own. Have you done that yet, or are you just playing with it?
Oh yeah, I did. I've been doing it since May, and
Okay.
it's
What numbers did you use? Do you remember for your overhead and your profit?
for my margin.
So blended.
I can
Blended. Okay. I was just curious. I mean, roughly.
Well, and we've drastically changed this year, and we doubled over last year, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out long term, because we had a couple of huge losses this year. We had
you gotta take the outliers out of your calculus for sure.
yeah, so we had four six-digit losses this year.
Yeah. Okay.
And but the price list has actually really been helpful. I like the ethics behind it.
Yeah.
I'm not fluffing for stuff that's justified, but we don't do.
Exactly. You're not saying, okay, how many man hours or how many extra fans do I have to use to make my number? That's what I like about it. It's just honest.
Well, and the one thing that I haven't used is I still don't skim coat a wall. My patch and repair guy is perfectly good. I add an extra hour, 2 hours for blending, but I don't.
Have you seen the new Patch J?
I did see that.
Yeah, use that sucker. You'll be good. That's a nice one.
I calculated 20% overhead, % net budget is how I did it.
Okay. Yeah. And you're right in there. That 36 to 40 is what I'm seeing. And that's blended obviously because you're only doing the labor side and the equipment side and stuff is still getting your 10 and 10. So you keep in mind, on emergency services, even with that price list, you're not making as much because most guys are still unwilling to mark up their emergency services, even though they should.
Well,
but that's another conversation. There's another hard conversation with adjusters who are not used to seeing that.
I built that into my water tech rate, to my water tech, my HMRT, all that rate.
Oh, so you've not only did you adjust the price list, but you've actually changed the labor rate itself.
Correct. So my water tech labor rate accounts for 10 and 10.
Okay. Did you use the calculator I sent for that, or you just did it on your own?
Maybe it doesn't. I used the calculator you sent.
Because that has a page on there where you can type in your labor rate for those, and that'll tell you, it'll do the math for you. Anyway, neither here nor there. Hey, I gotta bounce to get back to work. Great to talk to you, Greg.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for reaching out, man.
Yep.
And that's that. Hope you enjoyed that. I spent a little bit of more time editing than I thought I would. If you have any questions about pricing feedback, go find my stuff. Email me, andy@theclaim.clinic, and check this out, man. Otherwise, have a good See ya.